Let me ask you a question. Are you working in your zone of genius? Well, so many people have chosen jobs and careers that don't fulfill them. And that's what we're going to get into in this video, so stick around. Hi there, this is Sharon Koenig of FearlessPursuits.com and welcome to another episode of Fearless in PowerTube. This is where I create videos to help you win at life. So, the zone of genius, I love saying that. So what is the zone of genius? This is something where we feel absolutely amazing when we do it, right? This is a job, perhaps, a career, something that we've chosen, a part of the career where we feel like we are just in flow and we are amazing at that. We are a genius at that. Think Tiger Woods, right? So here is a man who is literally making an amazing living, right, at playing golf. Right? This is his zone of genius. If you think about it, this is something he was amazing at as a young child. Sure, you know, he practiced, he did a lot of practicing, but he had a natural gift. It's something that he was very, very good at from a very young age. And this is something that we want to find within us. And it's not easy for some of us to find that zone of genius. Some of us go through most of our life feeling like we're not good at anything. Been there. Yeah, for a lot of years, I felt like I was just a nothing, quite frankly. And I wasn't good at anything. My self-esteem really suffered because of this. And I didn't really know what I was good at. And I had such a small support system where I could not reach out to them and ask, you know, what do you think my skills are? You know, that's something that we want to do. We want to touch base with our support system. If you are fortunate enough to have a really great support system, people that you can count on, and ask them the question. You know, you are so lucky if you do. But ask them, what am I good at, right? This is what we want to know because this is the very beginning of finding our zone of genius. So there's a lot of things that people do in their careers. They go out and they become doctors and they become, you know, people that work in a certain field because they're filling a niche. You know, there was a time when I wanted to become a nurse because I thought that we needed more nurses. And really, yes, I love taking care of people. That's part of what I love doing, actually. But it wasn't something that I really wanted to go and do. And I'm kind of glad I didn't go down that path. But, you know, we go and we work in certain careers and we think that because we're going to make money at it, it's a great career for us. If you have ever done anything like that, there is no crime in that. We've all done things like that, thinking it's a really great idea. We can make some good money. I can be a good provider. You know, tell me in the comments section below if you have ever done that or you've thought about that. You know, I remember one of my clients, his parents were in the education industry. In fact, his entire family, not just his parents, but everybody was in the education industry. You know, we had professors and teachers and that sort of thing. So, you know, naturally, everybody wanted him to go down that same road. And, you know, he thought he would do that. So he became a teacher. And he was so unfulfilled. And here's the problem. When you are not working in your zone of genius, you are not fulfilled in life. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into feeling fulfilled in life. And, you know, working in your zone of genius is not the only thing here. But it's a big component. When you think about working, we're doing it 8 hours a day, you know, 6 hours, 10 hours, 14 hours. Right? So we want to do something that feeds us, that fuels us, something that we can do over and over and over and never get tired of, right? And it's something that we feel passionate about. it just lights us up, right? That is something that you're looking for, and a lot of people can't find it, and I could not find it until very recently. And I understand the people's struggles. So with this client that I'm talking about, so he did go through school, he spent all that money, all that time becoming a teacher, and he was a young man. I think he was only like 25 if I remember correctly, and he didn't like it. He didn't like it at all. But there was something about the education industry that he did like. What he saw was the injustice and the red tape and how the education system was failing the children. Well, he felt very passionate about that part, but he wasn't going to be a teacher. He had to literally throw away his education and all of that time and go back to school. And then he had to announce to his family that he was no longer going to be a teacher. So what happens there is the thoughts of feeling like we're a failure because we're working in this career that no longer suits us, that no longer fits for us. Been there, and you start feeling like, oh, I've failed. And you go down that path of feeling really bad about yourself and judging yourself. And what happens here is it blocks you from seeing anything positive. And you just realize something's wrong, and you just want to quit, and you just feel like something is missing. But what we need to do is we need to discover things like what we did when we were children. What were we really good at when we were children? And then you might discover something by accident like I did. And I love writing with my blog, you know. If you've ever been over there, I really enjoy it. And it does feed me, it fuels me, and makes me feel alive, but it's more of a chore than anything. And when I start realizing that I love talking to people, and I love helping people, this is my zone of genius. And it doesn't matter if it's in front of a camera or if it's face to face. This is my zone of genius. I care so much about people, and I'm a good listener. I can hear them, and I can see what needs to happen. I can dissect problems. I am so good at that. This is my zone of genius, my skill. And when you discover that for yourself, you will discover that you are not working at all. It's merely an income-generating activity. It's not work. And this is something that is so amazing when it happens to you. If it's ever happened to you, I would love to hear it in the comment section. If it hasn't, then we need to do some work. So what we want to do is we want to ask people, if you have a support system like what I was talking about before, ask them what you're really good at. Think back to when you were younger. What were you always doing when you were a young child? And these are things that will help us and give us hints. I was always the peacemaker. I was always the counselor when I was younger. And here I am, all grown up, and I am still the peacemaker. I'm still the lover. I am still the counselor. So I have found my zone of genius, and I want that for you. So I want to give you something to think about here. So after the video, just sit back and think about what you're really good at. And if you can't figure it out for yourself, because I've been there, it's hard sometimes. Go and ask somebody what your gifts are. And start thinking about what career, what job, what can you do that would help light you up. So I hope you got a lot out of this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch more videos about winning at life, you can hit that subscribe button now. This is Sharon Koenig, and I am out.